Hey, what's going on, guys? We're Echo, and welcome to part 4, I think it is, of this F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. It's a bit of a mouthful to say that, I'll be honest. But, yeah, I'm very, very tired. Next up is the French Grand Prix, and, yeah, decent showing last time, actually, in Canada. I'm very, very happy with how that went. And, yeah, there's not really much else to say. Of course, if you haven't watched that episode, make sure you go watch it. It's actually a decent episode, if I do say so myself, of course. Just putting some stuff on the activity timeline here. There's not really much we can do, just because we haven't got a lot of money, we haven't got a lot of R&D points. Actually, that reminds me, I haven't done this yet. I haven't actually added my perks in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy all these perks. We're going to be low on money, that's fine, and then I'm going to start saving, because of course we've got the contracts negotiations coming up in, well, very, very soon. And yeah, even though it's only 1 million for him, I am looking at getting a new driver, and the driver I'm looking at getting is either Jenson Button, Nico Rosberg, David Coulthard, or maybe it just make Lando Norris is only 4.5 million. Seriously? Seriously, game? You are kidding, aren't you? 4.5 million for him. I mean, sure. So yeah, I'll probably end up getting one of these. I am recording these all in advance, so if you've ended up putting something in the comments now about it, it might show up, but I don't know. That's the only downside with me doing it like this. Yuki Tsunoda's not doing very well. He's only got a 69 focus at the moment. Actually, how is Lando Norris doing? 78 focus, so it's not too bad. George Russell's looking decent as well. But yeah, I am tempted to get one of these icons, but the one that I do want to get is Jenson Button. I would get myself like Ayrton Senna or Schumacher, but it's a little bit too unrealistic in a way. But with like Rosberg, Button, not Coulthard, but maybe even Felipe Massa, they could end up going back to sport for like one season only, or even for half a season. You never know. Crazy things have happened. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, our teammate is doing okay. He's 67 rated. We are going to probably... So that's the thing. I don't know if I want to keep him for the season and then save money and then, you know, eventually get more, like better drivers and that, but I'm not too sure at the moment.
Need your input here. Not an easy choice, I know.
Yeah, take
Thanks
a break,
for
why
dealing
not?
with that. The department appreciates it.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not too sure just yet. Of course, his contract is only 1 million, so it's easy enough for us to sign him again for another season if needs be. We might actually be able to get Jenson Button if we save up very, very quickly. So yeah, we're going to sim ahead, and
Our new parts are completed without
we
issues.
aren't.
They'll be
We
on the
haven't.
car, ready for the next race
No,
weekend.
we haven't got to Team Acclaim 10 just yet. Go to
Okay,
department.
now this
Development?
is an interesting one.
No. Ooh, 1,000 resource points, or that at half price. Ooh.
Not an easy decision.
Go for that at half
but you
price?
handled it well. Thanks.
Because if we do that, go to monocoque structure. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, 50% off. Oh, we can't afford it. We can't afford it just yet. But that's fine. That is absolutely fine. In fact, we'll be able to get it next time out actually, so that's good. So there we go. So now we're back to almost 1 million. And if we go back to the R&D, it's actually telling us to go for something like this actually. But I'm not. I'm actually going to go for... Actually, if I go for that, it puts us up like midway. Go for something like that, it puts us up almost midway. Oh, let's go for monocoque structure. Screw it. We've done it. 14th of July, that should and I mean should just come in time for the British Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see. We've only got 9 R&D points left, but it looks like everything has come through in time. Of course, you know, we still need the MG UK, improved materials, and the monocoque structure, but obviously we've just bought that. And we're still below AlphaTauri and above Alfa Romeo. We aren't going anywhere very easily, are we? I've got everything set to default as well. But, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't sign another sponsor just yet. But we are very close. We should be able to do it by the end of the episode, or for the next episode. But yeah, not much left to do. So I shall see you for Q1, as long as everything goes well in practice. So then, just before we do get into qualifying, we are going to get a new control electronics, I think that was called. And yeah, because our one was on 52%, so I thought, might as well just, you know, get a new one. But onto the first lap of Q1. And for this race, I am running 7/8 wings, which is a little bit unconventional for this game. Normally you run a higher wing than you do your rear wing. But the car seemed okay. It was a little bit understeering in places as we set our first lap of a 1:29.8, and yeah, it was an okay run. Currently sat in P21, and we are about 7/10 quicker this lap around. And you know what? The car, like I say, actually seemed okay, and I thought we might actually be on for something good here. And as we do cross the line, we actually kind of outdo ourselves a little bit for the car that we've got, as we qualify in P16, about a tenth quicker than Mick Schumacher. Unfortunately, our teammate is in P19, but I decided that I wasn't actually going to do any running in Q2. I'm going to save my parts, so that means we are going to start in P16, and it's time to get to the race.
Here we are again then at Le Castellet for another round of this year's Formula One World Championship. Renault took their first French Grand Prix win all the way back in the inaugural race in 1906, but it was another 73 years before they could take their second. I'm sure Alpine will be pushing hard to delight the local fans here today. The circuit Paul Ricard then, a 3.6 mile track, 25 miles east of Marseille. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, with the main overtaking chance expected going into turn 8. Top speeds today should be around 205 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, and Leclerc, Sainz, Vettel, Fernando Alonso, and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda, and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, the rookie, Mick Schumacher, and Max Verstappen, Aitken, Mazepin, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And I was just looking at that guy, and he was looking at me weirdly. It was kind of unsettling. But as per usual, it is going to be a one-stop strategy, mediums to hards. Seems like it's the only strategy on this game. But to be fair, the mediums to hard strategy does actually seem like a good idea. Hopefully in Austria next time out it'll be a different strategy. And from what I've seen, it is a different strategy. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, we are racing in France, and its 5 lights are out, and away we go. And we get another bit of wheel spin, but we finally get off the line, and we are now up into P15 with Mick Schumacher ahead of us as we look to go around the outside of everyone as we get past Antonio Giovinazzi, hopefully. And we do get past him, so that means we're now up into P14, so a decent start for us as we go into the next turn. As some contact is made between myself and Antonio Giovinazzi. That means now I think he's got a bit of front wing damage. And yeah, I got a little bit waywards, I think, if I remember rightly. And we hit Mick Schumacher. I'll be honest, when I was racing, I didn't feel any contact. I knew that I just went out wide. As the first of many long straights. It's a bit of a drag race to the awkward chicane, but we stay ahead. And yeah, a little bit feisty in the opening lap. Well, in the opening few corners, I'll admit, I was getting my elbows out. But yeah, I think here there is a VSC actually, because there was some debris on the track. So I don't know if it was here or a little bit later on. As we got, I think that was Lewis Hamilton going fairly wide. No, actually no, sorry, it was Valtteri Bottas. And I think it was about here we had the VSC. Yeah, it was here when we had the VSC. So, you know, that momentum gains is all gone now, I'm afraid. But, you know, it's still an okay start for us. Thankfully, we had no damage. Something I've noticed as well, even if you get rear wing damage or... if you get rear wing damage or you get side pod damage, for some reason, it doesn't show as it being damaged, except from on the MFD where it comes up like lime green, yellow, orange. So I don't know if that's because if this is so it's not on PC, it's only a PC exclusive. Obviously, like I say, you'll still feel the effects of it. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be as bad as it was meant to be, if that makes sense. You know, the preview build, it was meant to be a lot more pronounced, if that makes sense. But I don't know, it doesn't matter to me anyway. I'm not that bothered by it. But we almost go into the back of Esteban Ocon. We I think was like millimeters away, and yeah, just making sure that I didn't have any wing damage. But here we go then. Finally, the race can get underway proper, and it's myself versus Mick Schumacher. Is still by my side here, and yeah, finally we can properly get racing. And I'll be honest, this race wasn't fun. It just dragged on. Obviously, you know, in real life this year, it was actually a really good race. But for some reason, no, not in game. It was really, really boring. A couple of people, I think Verstappen already pitted. I'm not too sure, and now he's you know, getting past us with these. And this is actually pretty much all the highlights. It's just me getting passed by the faster cars after they pitted. Like, there was nothing done, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't make any overtakes. As you can see, the only way I'm getting overtakes is by people pitting. So we got up to P5, and then we've got Hamilton now behind us. But yeah, that's why this video is a little bit shorter than normal. Normally my other video's been like 30 to 35 minutes long. And you know, if the race itself was boring, I will just make a shorter video. There's no point in dragging it out, as Lando Norris goes past us into P6. So yeah, he's on the charge. I don't know. You know, France has never been a great track on this game. It's a nice track to drive, don't get me wrong, especially if you've got the right setup and everything. And now Ricardo goes past us with these. You'll love to see it. So yeah, maybe for next season I might take this track out and put a different one in. This is why I'm hoping that the new tracks are added as soon as possible. And exactly a lap later again, Carlos Sainz goes past us, and we are now down to P9. So I mean, we're still in the points, but of course we've got to pit still, and we've got to go on the hards. So we are going to try and stick to a one-stop strategy here. as I think this is it. Yeah, we dive into the pits then. Try not to get a penalty, because this track I'm just terrible for getting penalties on when I come into the pits. So yeah, kind of a slow pit lane as well. Of course, it's not going to be as bad as at Silverstone, and I do have a special livery planned for that one. You know, still on the same livery design as what we've got at the moment, but I'm just changing up the colours as we come out the pits, and we are down to P19. Look on the left hand side, but that's the lap counter. But yeah, down to P19 now, and we've got a bit of ground to make up. But you know, like I say, not much happened. I'll be completely honest. And as you can see here, you know, there was hardly any highlights. So I'm just putting anything in at the moment. That's just how it has to be at the moment. You know, with the car that we've got, we're not really fighting for podiums or points. Like, we are where we're meant to be, which is in P16. You know, this is the sort of area that we're meant to be. So, as long as we can beat all of those that are below us on the performance index, and I'm absolutely okay with that. But yeah, on to lap 16 here. We've got Valtteri Bottas trying to get past us, and you know what? Actually, we seem to have got better traction than him. Of course, the tyres that we've got is a little bit less worn, I'd say, at this point, compared to the mediums, as Valtteri Bottas is going to go for a move down the inside, and we do make contact. So I apologise for Valtteri Bottas. Of course, we're using the Mercedes engine, so that's going to put a spanner in the works. I wonder if we're going to get a nasty email from Toto saying, right, that's it, if you're not careful to us on track, you know, we won't supply your engines, you'll have to look elsewhere. But, you know, this time we actually do let Bottas go past. But, oh, he locks up a lot on the front left then, and we've also got Fernando Alonso. As we just shut the door, we're not going to let him pass just yet. And, yeah, with Bottas up ahead, we're going to try and stay in the slipstream. But you know what the Mercedes is like, it's too quick. The Mercedes is way too quick. And actually, a little bit further up the road, he actually does pit. So maybe he's got some front wing damage, I don't know. But going on to lap 22 now, down a long straight, and Fernando Alonso. Gonna give him a little squeeze, but nothing really that I could have done about that. And Fernando Alonso takes P9, and we are now in P10, but we do have Vettel and Perez, who are most likely going to catch us. And yeah, one lap later, we were out of the points. Nothing I could have done about that, unfortunately. So yeah, we're out of the points. Vettel takes the last points paying position, and it's a bit disappointing, but it is what it is, I guess. Lap 24 then, and we've got Sergio Perez right behind us, and even though we've got a fast car in a straight line, we still need drag reduction. So I think that's probably something we're going to look at as well, going into the next episode. But nothing I could have done about that, and we've still got Daniel Ricciardo behind us. Would you believe it? One lap later, sorry, it was 2 laps later, so you know, we had a bit of extra time to hold him off. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo, so quick in a straight line. Unfortunately, we are not going to finish in P12. But yeah, going on to the last lap then, we've still got Daniel Ricciardo ahead with Raikkonen and Schumacher behind us. But I don't know, it's a tough one to take. You know, for the videos and that, I want to be able to do good gameplay where I'm finishing the points and that, but at the same time I also quite like it. You know, it gives a degree of difficulty. But hey, it's the first season, we are going to be struggling, and just looking at that, Lando Norris is winning the race. How? What a performance from Mr. Norris. That's incredible. And yeah, we're just in no man's land here, really. But yeah, we will go on board with Norris in a second to see off the race and everything. And as I say that, yeah, Norris is going to come across the line and he's going to win the French Grand Prix with Max Verstappen in second, Lewis Hamilton in third, and then Carlos Sainz in fourth with Charles Leclerc in fifth, Yuki Tsunoda in sixth, and Pierre Gasly just behind him in seventh. And then rounding off the top 10 will be Sebastian Vettel, as you know, a good performance for him, outperforming his teammate Lance Stroll, who's all the way down in 16th. And then Fernando Alonso will be behind him with Sergio Perez. But yeah, been a bit of a tough day for us, but we are going to come across the line and we are going to finish in P13.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Another superb French Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
So yeah, a little bit of a tough one to take, but we did okay, I guess, finishing P13. Of course, we started in 16th, and you know, we've also got Jack Aitken in 17th. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. But thank you very much for watching. I'm just going to take a quick look at the standing actually, and it's Lewis Hamilton still ahead on the championship leaderboard with Max Verstappen actually getting some decent points. Of course, finishing ahead of Hamilton and Bottas. But yeah, we're still in P14 with our teammate down now to 21st. But yet again, Mercedes are pulling away with it. But McLaren are now in second, and actually they are tied on points. So good job for McLaren and Ferrari. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's episode. But thank you very much for watching. Of course, I'm going to try and keep uploading as often as possible with this series. I am enjoying it, doing 50% races. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe, and enjoy the highlights of today's episode. See ya.